Hello, everyone. We're starting our argumentative writing unit. So, first, let's talk about the structure of an argumentative essay. Quick overview, here's the big picture. First, we have to define what argumentative writing is. And the author's purpose in an argumentative essay is to persuade. You're trying to get someone to think the way you do about a particular issue. First part is introducing the topic. Second part is providing background information. Third part is development. And part four is the conclusion. So let's get into what those mean. For part one, the introduction, your goal is to engage the reader, orient the reader, and introduce your thesis. Your lead, which is the first few sentences of your essay itself, should include a hook to grab the reader's interest. You also want to make sure that your reader knows exactly what they're about to read about. That is, again, orienting the reader. And then when you introduce your thesis, remember that your thesis is a sentence or two that contains the main point that you're trying to make. Part two is background information. The goal is to prove how knowledgeable you are, provide good information to your reader, and further orient the reader. You got to prove it. We should trust that you are extremely knowledgeable about your topic. Give us good information. So, your information should be from reputable sources. And again, you should orient the reader. Make sure that your reader knows exactly what they're reading. So, this is a chance to provide information that helps your reader understand a topic that they might not be familiar with. You might be very knowledgeable about this topic, but you don't want to assume that your reader is. Part three is development. This is mentioning possible counter arguments, address possible counter arguments, and provide evidence and reasoning. So, a counter argument, if you think about the way that word is broken up, counter means against. So, if you're mentioning counter arguments, you're mentioning what critics of your particular stance might have said to try to prove that your line of thinking is correct. Now, mentioning them is not the same as addressing them. Addressing your counter argument means you're telling your reader why, despite these claims and counter arguments, your stance is the best one. And then you provide evidence and reasoning. Do your research. Find reputable and trustworthy sources to use facts in order to defend your argument. If you can't find a reputable source supporting your point, that's your sign that you might want to reevaluate the point that you're trying to make. You might have to go back to square one, but it's better than trying to defend a point that is not defendable. And part four is the conclusion. The goal is to reinforce your argument, provide possible solutions to a problem, and a call to action. Again, reinforce your argument, drive your point home, restate it, provide solutions. You've presented a problem. Now you can present possible ways that the problem can be solved, if that wasn't part of the meat of your essay itself. And then lastly, you want to include a call to action. What do you want people to do with this information now that they think the way you do, if you've convinced them? Is there an organization or a service that people can use if they want to help? That brings us to the end. Now it's time to get into it.